This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.
Parental discretion is advised.
This show is brought to you by Slice on Broadway, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. SliceOnBroadway.com. Indy Wrestling US. Check out IWC, RWA, and more. And listeners like you, support this show at Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. It is the Wrestling Mayhem Show, episode 699, the penultimate episode before the 700 Club here in Sorgatron Media Studios in Pittsburgh, PA. Ready to talk some professionalized wrestling because we've been talking about Batman for a half an hour. So ready to get at it. First of all, in studio, prepared, been preparing, and over-preparing for Mayhem Mania is Mainstream Matt. How you doing, Matt, tonight?
I'm doing good, Sorgy. How are you?
All right. Are you good? I mean, it's only been 1 week, but I still need to check on how are you doing.
I'm exhausted.
Okay.
I think it's mostly out of concern that Larry could show up at any moment.
He could. I think he's in town.
It's the stress of knowing that he could show up
He's
at any time.
He's been out of town. He tried to select Bart Gunn for the Royal Rumble at one point in one of our groups. So I don't even know why he tried doing that.
Thanks for the email. Thanks for entering the contest, Larry, but no.
Yeah. Oh, that's what that was for. That's right. we did have selections for the Rumble picks. We'll be talking about later about what that applies to the Mayhem Mania. Also with us, he is in Beacon, New York, and he is the guy on the Mayhem Show that definitely watches more pro wrestling than any of you out there. He is Mad Mike.
Out of time, so say goodbye. What is yours?
Are those the words to the song?
Is mine.
No, wait, that's the old song.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted that as an earworm
good.
in everyone's head.
I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I just wanted that to earworm everyone's head.
Okay. All right. Also,
everyone has a wrestling theme stuck in their head.
Yeah.
Because they played them like every 2 minutes on Sundays. So
they did. Oh, geez, they did.
Yeah.
Like we got a lot of them. Also with us from the Starks lair is Ronnie Starks. I can't remember where we hail you from when you're at home. So from his secret ooze lair is that's really weird if you don't have this visual. in your den of Ninja Turtles, it seems.
Yeah, the turtle lair behind
an abandoned subway station with somehow
turned into a.
It ain't the Hilton.
It ain't the Hilton. Yeah.
That's right, and of course,
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
That's right. Also with us now, Marcus Mann could not make it tonight. We were in talks with his agents about returning him to the show. But with us, we're just going to bring him in for Mayhem Mania, but we said, why the hell not? And we're going to see how his internet holds up because he's out in the middle of duck country. Ty Cross, former Ryse tag team champion, with us now. It's a little fuzzy. He might be with us.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
2 quick things. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I here? Am I heard?
Yes.
Okay. 2 quick things. Broken Dreams should be used in the hype video to lead up to WrestleMania for that match.
That
would be sick. And Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds is my favorite line in a movie ever.
There you go. I feel like we start the show and
I can't hear anybody right now.
We start the show and then his internet completely takes a dive.
It's almost like they're telling us that this guy should not.
I'm moving to a different part of my house to figure this out.
Oh God, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. We're gonna see some fucking ducks again.
Yeah, eventually. There was good reception out with the Ducks. But anyways, this is the Wrestling Mayhem Show. Go check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. Go check out Basick Sickness. If you check out his YouTube and his Facebook page, he's actually been reposting some old footage, the 10-year anniversary of one of his albums, which has just been released on Spotify and Google Music and all those places. Pandora, I think, is on the list too. So if you're listening to your music streaming, subscribe to one of those. Look up Basick Sickness. You can find more than just that wonderful music that you hear in front of this show. Also ask your Google Home and your Amazon Echo to play some Wrestling Mayhem Show podcast for you. I've been having fun listening to different podcasts on mine. as well. You can also drop us a line to that email address.
Good
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com or 412-206-WMS0 at Mayhem Show on Twitter, and check out the Wrestling Mayhem Show page and group. A lot of great discussion happening through the group, including some stuff I'm hoping to bring up here on the show today. And of course, subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode every week, including extra episodes wherever you like to listen to your podcast. There's both the Wrestling Mayhem Show and there's the Wrestling Mayhem Show Super Feed, which includes the Monday Mayhem Wrestling Wrap-Up, as well as the Indy Mayhem shows, including last week's discussion with Gregory Iron, mostly about podcasting. And so go check that out. And, of course, we're here live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern for the flagship Wrestling Mayhem Show on Facebook Live, streaming a lot of other places, but of course the big discussion is happening in the Facebook Live, just like Jen Carlins is hanging out in there, Tina Keys out in the Seattle area, as well as I saw cameraman Rob hanging out, Dave Ponder, the Tiny Shutter podcast, and just Alex Miller out west, all hanging out there in the chat room with us tonight. And you never know, you may just hear us talking about a little bit extra stuff. If you want some more extra stuff, you can go follow our Patreon, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. You'll get emails with all the great shows, as well as extra content, some pre-show stuff, some secret recorded stuff that only you will hear. Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. Thank you to our supporters, our friends at the fan of the show level, Bo Diggity! Woo! By the way, shout that I see Bro Diggity is actually the brother of Bo Diggity, is actually opening for Mick Foley at one of his stops, I think up in Erie or something. So I saw our friends at Revenge Pro were sharing that this week. Ed Burke, Bobby FJ Town, Tina Keys, and our friends Team Hammer Fist. At the Poppy Club level, we got Bradley, Doc Remedy, Dave Ponder, Kyle Turner, and Daniel Towery. And at the manager level, our friends at OccupyProWrestling.com. You can support the show again, patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. First of all, I feel like it was so far ago because I know we were talking about it when it was like imminent a week ago, but we need to talk about AEW. AEW. I was right the first time. Damn it. Although AIW on the boat would be insane. But the Jericho Cruise was last week. In the imagery, I don't remember the first one having the insane imagery and sharing all over the place like this one does, probably because All Elite Wrestling was a part of this one. But and found out that some people in our Mayhem universe, Tim Cross and Andrew, were on the boat and started sharing those. So we kind of started an impromptu AMA during that. So I know those guys are out there. But this was, and I know, Ronnie, I know you're already looking at like maybe next year or something too for the boat. A lot of people were saying, hey, I signed up for the list. I'm kind of thinking about this. First of all, wrestling on the boat, producing wrestling on the boat, well, if you watch the episode, was obviously a little problematic. And we kind of speculated on that last week. First, I want to talk to the professional production person here, Mainstream Matt. What did you think of wrestling on the boat last week?
I thought it was awesome. I loved it. Yeah, that's one of the coolest things about AEW is that it never looks like the same show twice.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like some homogenized arena. It seems like the environment's always changing. So yeah, boat. I thought it was cool. That was funny that the fans were chanting at the other boats. I heard that when they were chanting "Your ship sucks," there was another boat passing. It was a Disney cruise that was passing by when they were chanting "Your ship sucks" at it. So yeah, wrestling fans, man. Yeah, but overall, I thought it was awesome. I was really hoping they were going to shoot off fireworks just into the sky and like do like some like super pyro because they had like no roof or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I suppose being on the boat,
like the biggest thing from happening. The biggest thing seemed to be the wind.
Yeah.
Like, it is the windiest wrestling show I think I've ever witnessed.
Yeah, but you know what? They kind of they acknowledged it, which is a good thing on the commentary, and I think even in like one of the matches, they were like someone was on the top rope, and it looked like they were unsteady, and just the announcer was just like, well, it is like really windy out here. He's probably having trouble, maintaining his balance.
Oh no.
You know
Oh,
you
no.
know Sorg. The wind can
Oh.
blow the body. You know. Oh my. Oh
yeah,
God.
yeah,
I gotta lock the door. I
We
gotta
gotta lock the door. Larry has arrived at the studio.
No, keep
He's oh no. He's go get him. Go get him.
I wish there was a camera following him as he's going to lock Larry out of the building.
Not him, but we're getting Larry at least on cam here outside.
So
oh wait, no,
whoever
he's
won the
assaulting.
Rumble contest,
Wait,
Larry
he's
can't hear us
he's
right now?
assaulting him right now. He's there's that is awkward out there.
So someone needs to banish Bart Gunn to the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, real quick. Are you?
He's been banished.
Was he
Bart
already
Gunn has
banished?
been banished.
I've just banished him at this moment in time.
There you go. There we go.
I don't know if that's in canon though.
We'll find out.
We need.
Well, neither is
We'll
Dragon
find
Ball
out.
GT.
You're coming
but
back
here
in
we are.
30
No,
minutes, right?
we need someone with an actual
What's
an
that?
actual ticket to the Phantom Zone.
Jeez. Anyways, all right. So, how did your tussle outside with Larry go?
He got in.
He got in.
It didn't go well.
We saw a little bit of it on the stream. So,
Did you kill Larry? Is he dead?
No.
did you get kill Larry and hide him in his own office downstairs?
Larry's buried in my
He's
basement.
got like this cooler area, so I don't know. Who knows what's in there?
We should have just put a giant cardboard statue of Butterbean on the door. Then Larry wouldn't have been able to get in.
That's true. Where can you get a cardboard stand-up of Butterbean? Who sells that?
Where can't you get that?
I'm Amazoning that shit right now.
Hold on, let me run down the Staples.
Your local Suncoast video stores.
Those don't exist anymore, man.
Oh no, they
No.
do. Somebody found one not too far from Black Diamond, actually.
Ah,
What?
And when
Yeah.
they empty those
It was-
out anyway,
it was
they
right next
left
to the
all
Sam
Butterbean
Goody.
behind.
We're paying a visit. No, maybe it was the Sam Goody I saw actually.
No, Sam Goody does exist in what mall is that by you?
Yeah.
Ty?
It's like the Ohio Valley
Robinson?
Mall or something, or
No, it's that mall in Ohio.
yeah,
That's-
yeah,
Oh,
like
the Ohio Valley Mall, St.
yeah,
Clairsville?
that's the one.
Yeah,
Past-
there's a Sam Goody there.
Jeez. Anyways, so what'd you guys think out there on in the hangout of wrestling on a boat last week?
I have not been able to watch it yet.
You've seen
sadly.
clips though, right?
Hmm?
You've seen the clips though, at least, right?
I've seen a couple clips. I don't want to give my full opinion until I watch the full show.
Yeah, okay.
because-
Yeah.
Because I already I have reservations about it. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
it does sound like a cool concept. I
Mhm.
kind of don't like that they just made Moxley a pirate just for that show.
I think it was more than that. I mean, it was a pretty cool. Come on. Matt is
No,
shaking his head.
but see, the
Hold
thing
on.
is,
Matt is
if-
shaking
If
his
the
head.
exact same gimmick was done by Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho, everyone on the internet would have hated it.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
I agree with that.
No.
I
Absolutely.
absolutely agree with that.
I guarantee
They would've
if
said,
Moxley
"Oh, look
comes
what they're
out,
doing with Ambrose."
yeah, if Moxley comes out with a hot dog cart to go after the inner circle, people will like, "Oh my god, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen." It's
I completely agree. I hate
Listen,
to say
man.
it because it's you, but I completely agree.
Listen, man. Dippin' Dots. Dippin' Dots.
They would have said look, they put Ambrose in an eye patch to make him look like a pirate. They're ruining John Moxley. Is what they would have
Exactly.
said about it if WWE would have done it.
Matt, you've been shaking your head violently.
because they would have done it right before this WrestleMania. Because guess what? It's a pirate ship theme.
Matt, you were shaking your head violently at that whole thing.
I don't have anything else.
No, it's just that's it.
No.
You're winded from
No, that's
He's
the,
win-
that's
he-
the
he-
shaking head of. I know Mad Mike is right.
That's my shaking my head. I'm not getting into this.
Not putting up the fight, but he did wear the eye patch the entire time, which puts him in the same boat as Shirley Doe. And who was the other eye patched one? Oh,
Nydia.
what's that?
Nydia.
Nydia?
Yeah, you don't remember when Nydia was blind?
Oh,
PCO did PCO wear an eye patch?
yeah,
or did he take it off
John
before his
Pierre
match?
Lafitte back in the day wore the eye patch. Apparently, the eye has grown
Yeah.
back since he's become PCO. So there you go. By the way, Shirley Doe not wearing the eye patch anymore as of this past weekend. I think maybe last month 2 weeks ago he stopped wearing it.
Thank
So
God.
so
Good for him. I'm glad
2020,
he's better.
the year 2020, Shirley Doe is back to 2020 vision.
I see you there.
So good to see. I'm glad people are healing up. Friends of the show. So
I appreciate that joke.
there are
sir.
a lot of people in the street right now. What is going on? Oh, there's a truck. The great thing is if somebody backs into our studio, we'll have it on video. See that truck across the street? I'm glad I put this camera back over here.
Yeah, definitely.
So, let's see. So, wrestling on a pirate ship, and now other people getting ready to wrestle on a pirate ship. Edge is back, you guys. We talked about this a little bit last night, and that's one theme that I know has been stuck in a bunch of people's heads. So hold on, Larry hasn't watched wrestling for a while. Hey, do you know Edge is back?
Yeah, I watched it today when I was driving back from Michigan.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. He was watching Royal Rumble while driving. Don't admit that on the internet. Anyways. Oh, it was Ohio. That's fine. Worst things are happening in Ohio. Let's be honest about
I don't know about that.
Yeah. So Edge is back. Matt Carlin's, your opinion?
I'm awesome. Just between like Edge and on coming back at the Rumble, and then just and then doing his thing at the end of Raw last night. He's just like he's the man. He's awesome. It's a goddamn tragedy that we haven't had him around full time for the last 9 years. It's a tragedy because dude is gifted, and he had so much more to give. That's the sad part. He's just brilliant.
And now it is.
And he steps right in. He's instantly amazing again.
And now it is like 9 year later, Edge versus what could he have done 9 years ago if he kept going, as people came in.
One nice thing about this, though, if there's any nice takeaway, is from now on, anything Edge does is going to be that much cooler and that much better because we never thought we'd see it again.
Kind of like Daniel Bryan now, right?
Yeah. Anything Edge does for the next 3 years, if he really did sign a 3-year contract, that's kind of what I read. Anything he does for the next 3 years is going to be awesome, and we're all going to love it because we're not going to take it for granted. Where if Edge had stuck around for these past 9 years and never took any time off and never got hurt, you worry. He's very talented, but you worry that people would start to kind of, okay, are they using Edge too much, or is Edge holding guys down? It happens with a lot of people. So the one, I think, nice takeaway is everything's going to be awesome.
It blows my mind. We now have two major wrestlers who have had severe career-ending injuries with neck and head, respectively, that have both come back.
Well, I mean, 3 if you count Shawn Michaels.
Oh, Shawn was another one that wasn't supposed to come back. That's right. So I feel
modern medicine is insane. So
and I think that there's something to say for being over precautious.
Yes.
Because and I'm not saying it's as if it's a bad thing, but they talk about Bryan would have been cleared anywhere else but WWE and all of that stuff. But WWE is gonna watch out for themselves and the boys, but also themselves. So they're not gonna let that go if it's not foolproof.
Yeah.
So,
and
there is something to be said about that too, I think.
Yeah, we rag on WWE about a lot.
Nope, lost Mike for a moment.
They do.
I thought it was me.
I think that's a great thing they do. Like, they want to make absolutely positive. Like, you can go to your doctor. You go to our doctor. Because our doctors deal with what you guys will have to be dealing with.
Absolutely, and good on them for not trying to get cleared, like Daniel Bryan for not getting cleared enough to wrestle somewhere else. I mean, but again, they don't want to upset the apple cart at WWE and not be able to come back when they are cleared, right? So we'll see.
It shows you that Bryan's really happy too, because Bryan could have went to New Japan Pro Wrestling and made a lot of money, not as much money, but he could have went to New Japan and made a lot of money if he wanted to. He could have went back to Ring of Honor and made a pretty good bit of money if he wanted to, but he stuck around because I think he believed in himself, and I think he liked being a part of that company. So there's something to be said about that too.
Yeah. I mean, some people don't see anything other than being on top as the thing, versus a Dean or somebody that says, "Hey, let's see what we can do over here," or Jericho, "Hey, let's see what we can do in another playground," right? And both doing pretty great things the last several years with that. So.
I for one am glad we have not seen Sexton Hardcastle in AEW.
Oh, good.
I'm glad that wasn't the case.
I wish he was at least good enough that we did get Sexton Hardcastle at a Chikara Trio show or something, right? So Anyways, no. So other than that, Matt.
I'm just gonna.
Matt?
I don't want to let this moment while we're talking about Edge pass without saying how awesome Randy Orton's been the last 2 nights.
Okay.
Like, we crap on Randy Orton a lot. He was great on Sunday. He was great on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yep.
But
That was one of the best segments I've ever seen. Man, it was fantastic.
I mentioned last night, Cordes said the two of them, if they were to feud, because we didn't know at the time, would be a master class in storytelling that we have to see over the next weeks, months, hopefully. So, good to see it. I'm curious what they do with them. I hope Edge kind of stays part-time-ish.
Yes.
For both him and did I see? Did he have castmates from Vikings in the audience? Did anybody else catch this?
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Is that why he is leaving the gray in his beard? Is that like a
it might be
a deal with his TV obligations?
It might be. I don't know. He doesn't.
Well, no. I mean, Vikings has been canceled for.
Oh, has it?
Oh. Yeah, Vikings has been canceled for a while.
I didn't know that. Okay, that's why.
Yeah, I remember him talking about it on the ENC podcast.
Well, canceling the podcast makes a lot of sense now. So, I was waiting for even a Christian.
Supposedly Christian was supposed to continue it, but he never did because
he was always bad. He was always the one they were waiting for. So
Yeah.
So hey, before we go to a break here, I want to give a shout out because I saw him in the chat room here a moment ago. Give a shout out to Billy Johnson. He's
Billy
Johnson.
He's hanging. I know he's going through some medical issues now. I know he's admitted to a hospital today. Some issues with his heart. So everybody, give some good vibes out to him. And even any good vibes from your personal deity as well to him for that. So thank you. Looking out for Billy, a good friend of the Mayhem show, and I want to make sure.
Sorg, we have a special message for Billy.
Yes.
Get better soon, pal.
I also have a special message for Billy.
I thought for a second he was going to squeeze the Bailey thing.
No, he did.
I did.
He did. Oh, there was a whoop whoop.
That was it.
Yeah, there was a whoop whoop. That's all we got this time. So,
okay.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
There ain't no stopping us now.
Ain't no stopping us now. Get it all
Time to get on the floor.
Oh, geez. Well, hey, you know what's also we're not stopping. The great wrestling rolling out at Indy Wrestling US and Indy Wrestling Network. A lot of great stuff coming up here. Just posted, actually, just live right before this show was Saturday night's Ryse Wrestling debut in Baldwin, PA. And I know, Mainstream Matt, you were really excited about one of those things, and obviously that was Ronnie Starks at ringside.
Oh yes. Ronnie Starks just, right off to within feet of me, just like showboating and mugging and just like, get that cam on me. I could just like feel the energy coming off you, Ronnie. Just like look at me, turn to me, and I'm like, no, Sorg wants me to focus on the action in the ring. Don't pay attention to the managers. But
I did turn to you at once and scream, "I hate you!" And then I walked away.
Once you were sitting in the front row with the fans, with dang it, I forget his Jordan Styles.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't ignore this. So you eventually.
Oh no, I
pushed it
noticed.
far enough. So.
I noticed.
Yeah.
Me and Jordan working together has been a long time coming, and I'm super excited about it.
Yeah,
it's great.
I mean, your need for attention is not that bad though, Ronnie. You're like an understated BC Steele. BC needs all the attention, so he is hard to ignore too.
He is. Oh well. Anyways, your second favorite thing of the night was another match that happened before intermission.
Lee Moriarty and
Jason Kincaid.
I didn't want to screw up his first name.
It was a fucking banger.
It was amazing. Lee Moriarty is great, getting better all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Kincaid is awesome. Every time I see him, he's awesome. And I know we've shot other matches involving him, a bunch of them before in the past. So get deep into that Indy Wrestling US archive. Find those Jason Kincaid matches because they're awesome.
Absolutely. Also released Prospect Pro Wrestling had their first show of the year, packing in the Worthington Civic Center as well. Both shows had amazing crowds. I think they're running out of seats. I think they ran out of seats at the Worthington Civic Center for them, with Threat of Snow as well, and headlined by a great tag match. The debut of the Xander Zone interview segment on there, so good for Xander Gabriel out there. Some debuting talent out there. Some of the STDs were there. I don't know why I meant, but hey, the friends of the show. And hey, they were STDs.
I don't know why anybody
You know,
would even care.
ETF is great. It's the heat that the ETF, Dan Hooven and Santana Diamonds draws is completely atomic out there, and borderline rough out there.
Okay.
I
was like, where are we going with this?
No, I just remembered one sign. I was like, I don't know if we want to put that on camera. So I know there's a really good crew, and everybody was on fire. The crowd was hot all night, and again, there's a lot of the younger guys getting a chance here. Both Prospect or Ryse are kind of that thing where a lot of younger guys are getting a chance to really flourish, and so show what they got. Go check that out, Prospect Pro Wrestling and Ryse Wrestling from Baldwin, PA. All both now live at indywrestling.network. VOD coming soon for Ryse, and those will, of course, that will also be rolling out very soon on Smart Mark Video website too. So wherever you want to watch that, DVDs available for all of them now. You can order them right now. We'll be rolling those out, and subscriptions for DVDs too. If you wanna get all the DVDs that we put out in a month, that includes Prospect Pro Wrestling, Ryse, Black Diamond, and RWA. $20 a month. Go sign up for that at indywrestling.us, a new feature that we just rolled out. I know a couple of you guys are taking up on that. Also some $8 a month subscriptions if you want those for individual promotions as well. Indywrestling.network, indywrestling.us. Go check all of that out. All right, so I wanted to, and I was really looking forward to having Marcus Mann's kind of opinion on this, but we'll just have to get Ty Cross's as a wrestler. So, and Ronnie, of course.
You don't put me over. It's about time. I'm not important.
Well, you're here every week, so I sometimes I forget. So there was a post after the Royal Rumble, and again, so many people involved. I mean, hell, 60 people across two Rumbles on that roster. Let's think about that. Plus people that had matches that weren't in the Rumble, including, mostly the title matches, right?
And people who were in the Rumble that aren't on the roster.
And there's that too. So afterwards, there was a tweet by Mustafa Ali with a video about his disappointment about not being selected for the Royal Rumble. Again, there are 30 people. That's a lot of people. That's a lot. That is a lot of people that get on that show. You got to be, more than a typical pay-per-view, right? And to not get on that is important. So I kind of was putting some thoughts out there into the universe on Twitter and on Facebook. You think of everybody that makes the Royal Rumble tonight, on Sunday night, was definitely of note and deserving in some aspect, right? To get that far and be selected for that, or have a position because of something. We can debate up and down beyond that. But also, I think deafening are the scores of talent that aren't getting used. You have an insanely deep roster. We mentioned this a lot when we're talking Mayhem Mania. For instance, and it still doesn't make it onto 7 hours of primetime television that's every week. I think we were talking about last night, and Mike might get the numbers for me. I think less people are on Monday Night Raw's 3 hours than make SmackDown on a weekly basis. I feel like that's the case, and I want to see if that is.
Raw has longer matches, which
right.
accounts for a lot of that.
They just fill the time versus giving us just more stuff, right? And
how often are they kind of rolling over different talents too? You're seeing it's not just it's the same guys week after week after week after week, and they'll just stow someone away in the lockbox for months on end, and you won't end up seeing
champions
them at all,
sometimes. Champions sometimes,
yeah. And there are episodes of Raw where you'll see Kevin Owens 5 or 6 times on the show.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to tell long-term stories when you don't have to put somebody on TV every week. So if you rotated people and if you advertise people, if Seth Rollins wasn't, and I'm not just picking Seth Rollins because I don't like him, because I do, but if Seth Rollins wasn't on TV every week, then you could advertise next week Seth Rollins will be on TV.
But you do get that with like sometimes when Seth was like when they're champions, like Becky doesn't make it on every week or does something every week, right? Like she would just did an interview segment. It's like,
but Becky is one of those people that should be on every week because they don't use nearly enough of their female talent.
There's that too. Like, how are we, with as deeper rosters they have? When's the last time we've seen the Iconics? When's the last time?
I think the Iconics are actually in Australia though,
like
with their families.
Okay, well, with everything going on, of course.
With everything going on over there,
still,
I think that's the case with that. But still, even before then,
right.
They've barely been on since they lost the tag team titles.
Yeah, a lot of those guys. Or where is Cedric Alexander? Although Cedric Alexander with a great tweet I saw this week and said, "Hey, did you know that there's a 4th brand or 5th brand or whatever number you gave main event that you can watch me on?" So
Cedric Alexander has a match with Riddick Moss this week. Everyone,
whoa,
Riddick,
whoa.
Moss, main event nowhere in the country.
But because those guys don't get cycled into Raw and they get left off Raw for so long, people forget about them. You can't really sell a main event that has Cedric Alexander in it against the Riddick Moss, because we've seen Riddick Moss once on Raw this week, and we haven't seen Cedric in however long. But if you cycled guys and you got guys on and off TV, you make them more must see when they're there. And then someone who likes Cedric Alexander, because they see them every other week or every third week, they'll say, "Oh, Cedric Alexander's on main event," and tune into main event because they didn't get to see him on Raw this week.
I feel like, other than main storylines, I feel like we get this a little bit with AEW, where there is that cycle up. I'll see Darby Allin maybe every 2 or 3 weeks, but he's having matches on Dark if I want to follow along. But again, if I'm someone who's just watching that prime time show, like the women are cycling a bit more, it feels. I mean, for better or for worse, you can have that debate aside too. But again, you're not seeing that as much. NXT, I think, does this very well.
NXT has it down to a science.
Oh, they do. Yeah. They do. It's never. It's like, all right, this number 1 contendership happened. See you in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Maybe you'll get slight interactions backstage or something, but nothing that takes more than that.
Or you'll get like a tag match.
The internet gives you a greater platform than ever before to keep things fresh in people's minds, that you don't have to put stuff on TV every week.
Absolutely. And again, with being the elite, with the Dark and being the elite, they're able to pursue those storylines for the people that want to do the deep dives. Now, WWE does do this to a certain point with their WWE exclusive content. How many times have people like...
But the stark difference is, and I don't mean to... pun not intended. When WWE does the exclusive stuff, if it ties in to the main shows, they will usually air it. Whereas AEW almost runs entire angles on Dark and being the elite and expects you to watch it when, I'm sorry, people aren't going to do that.
Or you catch it in the sub jokes on the titles, like frustrated and millennial angry cowboy on Adam Page last week or whatever that was. When I saw like millennial cowboy, I'm like, what the hell are we doing here? So
Mike does make a good point, though. There is that line that you have to walk, where if you rely too much on the internet, the casuals aren't watching all the time. Like, those casuals aren't watching AEW Dark, so they're going to be confused when you put stuff on TV. But WWE, I think, uses the exclusive stuff really well on their Facebook. Like the Edge thing that just happened, all that exclusive stuff that they just put out for Edge, it was like 6 minutes, but you don't need it to tell the story, but it still invests to you. And I think that there is a line that both companies need to find, of using the internet, not putting guys on TV every week, and giving more people an opportunity to shine, because then you have more stars.
I mean, they used to be able to get you, excited about seeing a wrestler either debut or come back, but there's not really much of that anymore. I mean, they could have been priming. Mojo Rawley shows up, out of the blue for the first time in, months maybe on TV, and picks up the 24/7 title. But there was groundwork that could have been laid to kind of get people ready to see Mojo again. You could have done some of that groundwork online. Or on social media, kind of priming the audience a little bit, so that when he does come back, they're like, all right, finally, here we go,
When Bret Hart wrestled the 1-2-3 Kid on Monday Night Raw, it was a big deal because Bret Hart was wrestling on Raw. And it elevates that segment that much more because it's Bret Hart on Raw.
Yeah, but they only had an hour to fill back then.
Right.
So-
and now you have
and-
3 hours and you're still having trouble getting people on TV.
and not nearly
But
as
see,
much.
this is
roster.
why you need to have Brock have a match on Raw occasionally. I know that seems counterproductive to what they want to do, but you should at least have Brock wrestle one Raw match a year.
Yeah.
Like I feel like that would help everything that people have problems with Brock about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because as it stands right now, unless he's at the Saudi show, he's not going to wrestle until April.
Yeah.
I want to keep in mind it is January.
We have 69 days to go.
Yeah,
I believe as
Nice.
of today, right?
Nice.
So,
nice.
Nice.
hey, we
But
only
like that's a problem.
Mhm.
Like, and he can show up and Paul can talk and he can F5 someone. No one cares about that segment anymore because we've seen it done to death.
Mhm.
Like, Paul can't sell me on Brock Lesnar anymore. I'm sorry, he can't.
Right, but again, there's a giant section of people that will pay money to see it again and again. So, or tune in, or whatever the case may
But
be.
you know what? They'd also pay to see more.
Mhm.
They'd also pay to see more, and they'd pay more to see it.
Mhm.
Like, and more people would tune in. Even if you just advertise, like, in 3 weeks, Brock Lesnar versus Ricochet.
Mhm.
You know exactly what that match is going to be. It's gonna be a 5-minute match where Ricochet maybe gets in a recoil, and then Brock catches him when he goes for the 630 and hits an F5, and that's it.
Back to a little bit of the talent issue. So it's kind of if what's happening over there, Ronnie.
Sorry, blowing my nose. My bad.
It's okay.
Ronnie doesn't know what a mute button is.
No, he didn't hit that mute
Oh,
button.
and I am muting.
There we go.
That's all right.
He's learning how to podcast.
Yeah,
ladies and
I mean
gentlemen.
he's new to it, guys. It's okay. It's okay.
I hit the mute button when I cough, so I find Ronnie blowing his nose very disrespectful.
Listen.
Kiss my ass.
I just don't cough or sneeze ever when I'm being recorded on the internet.
Listen, Ronnie is doing as well this early into podcasting remotely as I probably would at this point of trying to be a wrestler. So, I think it works out,
I mean, let's be honest. I probably fall asleep halfway to the podcast every week anyway.
That would be a DJ Lunchbox's gimmick.
Yes, yeah, he did that, but he was on NyQuil. It was just me and NyQuil Lunchbox. Anyways, we should find that episode. But no, I think we've had the there was a recent show that I was at that said, man, I think I can book a better show from everybody in the audience than what's in front of us.
Yeah, that was.
There was a show. I don't think I say anymore. But I feel like that's kind of the metaphor that happens with let's say Raw, right? Like I feel like I could book more of a show with everybody in catering that we didn't see on Monday night. You know, I mean, the people like your tag division, right? We're have all this talent that we're not doing anything with, but Aleister Black is just kicking people in the face that we've never heard of every week. The Viking Raiders have done the same thing for how long, right?
I assume the
Aleister
Street
Black's
Profits
got
are
the
never
closet
going
for
to wrestle
butts.
again.
No, apparently we forgot the Street Profits are very good, and it's just so weird.
I mean, it could be something as simple as just like, somewhere in like the first, in the first hour of Raw, you run like an 8-man tag, just a 5-minute sprint with just 8 guys, do all their big moves, see who gets over,
Could it be- I mean, that's basically what New Japan does.
That's what New Japan does, except they're
I
taking
mean,
like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
So I mean, you could do that. Although it felt like we were doing that for a while, doesn't it? Hey, here's an 8-man, 2 tag team, 2 tag teams on each side thing to remind you that we have tag teams.
I guess I'm not necessarily thinking about it necessarily for tag teams either. I'm thinking, just
just singles.
Just find 4 baby faces and 4 heels in catering and send them out there. And let's see what happens. I mean, it might be a little antiquated at this point, but I mean, back when we were watching, Nitro, man, they would just send like the, today's equivalent of they would just run like Cedric Alexander and Buddy Murphy out there and be like, just go out there and do 10 minutes, Psychosis,
I don't know if
Psychosis and Beyond 04, let's go,
follow.
I don't know if today's audience is ready for that, but
hey, but also we're talking about an era where that worked very well for them.
Yeah,
and we're talking about like we think Nitro, don't think about where they ended up, think
To
about
a
what
point,
got them
though.
there.
To a point, like at some point people started to tune out to Nitro because although those matches were fun and you got a lot of people on TV, there was no storyline investment in them.
There's no storyline investment, and the top storylines really that you
Were
sold the
terrible.
pay-per-views on started being terrible, and everybody, it was gotcha booking that nobody wanted to pay money for anymore. I mean, that was our thing. Like, I don't know how many times we went to, and it's not an annoying, oh, the heel got over, like I'll pay next time to see him. Like, it gets to a point where it's just like, fuck this, I'm not paying money for this, right? Yep. So, like, is where we felt we were with the NWO at the time, because it was just such shoddy finishes to matches that should have been great. So,
also, why does Humberto Carrillo get a rematch on Raw for a title match that he lost the night before?
Yeah.
Why can't you put somebody else out there with Andrade?
That's
another way to get somebody else on TV, and you can still do the Humberto thing after the match.
And why? Because Andrade is now suspended for 30 days. Why didn't we just give the belt to Carrillo?
Or back to Ray. If you don't want Carrillo, give it back to Ray.
If you're going to run it back, at least people will see it on TV. More people will see it. Then if you're going to run it back, then put the belt on Humberto.
Or hell, make a surprise moment and put it on MVP.
No sword. No.
Terrible idea, sword.
What? No. Come on.
Put it on Ricochet. Nobody's going to expect it. You throw Ricochet out there on Monday Night Raw, and Ricochet wins. You do it with anybody, but I don't like trashing WWE too much because I think I still think they have the best product, out there. But I mean, there are things that you could fix, and I think that's one of them. Is like you didn't have to run Humberto back on that. You could have had Humberto do his revenge after the match.
Oh, Matt,
match with somebody else.
Main Street Matt.
I was just gonna say. I mean, we've seen him pull titles off of guys for far less than.
Yes.
A 30-day suspension. I think there's a long-term game with Andrade. I think that's why they left the belt on him. So.
The great thing.
I want to reiterate that I don't think that he should have lost the title. I'm saying if you would have done that, you could have done it.
What they could do is maybe, well, one, he's been injured out, so they're probably going to explain that. But we just get these videos of him. Look at these videos of him in this overdrawn traction from what happened on Raw.
No, they don't do. If you're suspended, you're suspended.
I know, but I'm just saying, story-wise, like he's in traction. Selena is like just putting over about how much Humberto's in trouble when he comes back. With him just in overdrawn traction for the last month. Like, you just do these vignettes through the month that you film now, and it just kind of rolls with it. It doesn't even have to be him. It could be some jobber in a face mask.
Well, I mean, if anything, Zelina should be providing weekly updates.
Yes. Oh, the Zelina weekly update?
The ZNN.
ZNN.
Or you bring Andrade back after 30 days, and he can't wrestle because he's in a neck brace, and everybody knows that it's a Bob Orton situation, but he keeps saying he can't wrestle, so you set up a tournament for the U.S. title, number one contender.
No, we don't need more tournaments.
I love
I'll
tournaments.
take the tournament.
Guys on TV.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah.
But you could do something, and Andrade can't wrestle, and then you build Andrade's character a little bit more by letting him do maybe something funny with a neck brace. There's a lot of ways you could take it.
But we're all also writing. They don't really do much of that. So,
well, anyways, you can't write on an empty stomach. And I want to give a shout out to another friend of the show who's been supporting the show for so long. Our friends at Slice on Broadway, sliceonbroadway.com, supporting Pittsburgh podcasting with the perfect pepperoni pizza. 4 locations here in the Pittsburgh area, of course. And I know a lot of you guys listening out there are not in the Pittsburgh area. That's okay. I know. Once again, I got another message from somebody hanging out on Slice on Broadway that got to check them out for the first time. I really appreciate that. And they were recommended by Beastman. So there was that.
Did they kick the door in?
I don't think they did. No, I don't think they made as big of a mess as Beastman did. But anyways, go check them out. Of course, you are somewhere and you'd like some Slice on Broadway. They had one location when we started. If you want to help with that global expansion, take a picture of the sign for Broadway in your town and tweet them at PGH_Slice on the Twitter and let them know you would like a slice on your Broadway. Hit them up. Check them out. thank them for being a supporter of the show, and check them out, sliceonbroadway.com. Thank you so much to those guys for supporting Fine Wrestling Podcast. We will be back after Katie has a word with you about Sidekick Media Services, and we'll be back with what you've all been waiting for, Mayhem Mania.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
Is incredible, and oh my god, and then Edge comes back, and it's insane from there on out. It was a really good Rumble, and the back half of it's incredible. I'm like, it's just incredible.
I still don't
Matt,
agree
quick
with what they
question.
did to Keith Lee though.
Tim,
Can Matt hear me?
try.
Mainstream
I hear
Matt?
you.
What got a bigger reaction? Edge coming back or Brock Lesnar getting booted out of the ring?
You know what? Probably Edge.
Oh yeah,
I think it was definitely Edge. But I mean, the reaction for Brock getting kicked out is like they pull out, and like every like fan in the stadium is like has their hands up. They're like so happy. But like when Edge comes out, you can't even hear like his music playing. You can't even like hum along with his music at that point because the crowd is so loud at that point.
I thought the reaction for Roman getting eliminated was actually louder than both of them.
Nah, I don't think so.
I thought it was.
maybe in your head.
Well, nobody wanted Roman to win again. That's why.
Yeah, no, because that's also not.
Well,
so
you
much
know what?
That's
When
not
I,
just the reaction for Roman.
When I
It's
go to
also
log it,
Drew winning.
I'll check the decibel levels.
There you go. Check the decibels.
I
We're
can
here
do that.
talking Royal Rumble, Wrestling Mayhem show. But forget the Rumble. The Rumble's the past. You know what's the future? You know what has predicted some of the best matches in the last several years?
Sorg, it's pointing season.
It is pointing season. Oh, wait a minute. I got to take care of something for that. But Mainstream Matt, what is happening right now?
Is it time to play Mayhem Mania? I guess it is. Hey, real quick though, first order of business we got to take care of first, Sorgy, is that when we were here last week, we were talking about the Royal Rumble Challenge, and we asked the people to send in their predictions of who would win both Rumbles. Incredibly, Sorgy, we only had one correct entrant. The only one who got it right was Tina. She correctly predicted that Drew would win the men's Rumble.
God
So
damn it,
she
Tina.
was the only winner. But as a result of her winning, she gets to send one person through the forbidden portal into space jail where they cannot be used in Mayhem Mania. Or can they, Sorg?
What?
Because tonight, here for this round of Mayhem Mania, we are going to find out, for the first time, we are going to find out if someone can break out of space jail. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
This is going to be exciting. And see, whenever we play Mayhem Mania, we give people a chance to eliminate people from being used in Mayhem Mania. And last week, when we made our first 8 matches, we also had 8 people eliminated from Mayhem Mania, space jail, if you will. And then as a result of Tina winning our contest, we have added a 9th person to space jail. So Sorg, I think before we go any further, we're gonna recap space jail right now.
Right,
I'm gonna let you all know.
Space
first
Jail.
I'm gonna let you all know that
Welcome to the space jail.
Tina, by the way, Tina is sending John Cena to space jail.
Oh,
So
Good, yeah. You take that, Cena.
Here's space jail.
yeah, by the way, producer Missy worked long, hard today with tape and scissors.
Let's hear it for Arts
to
and
add
Crafts.
people.
Now I had to haphazardly add John Cena to the to the wheel, but here we go.
Oh, you're gonna kill her OCD.
There's no cure. Here we go. Yeah. So on the currently residing in space jail, we have Triple H,
Okay.
Bailey,
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Fish, WLC, Lacey Evans, Randy Orton, Enzo, John Cena, and Ronda Rousey. So now here.
Why just Bobby Fish? Who was like Bobby?
Long story.
Well, we'll tell you some
Well,
other
this
Maybe
stuff.
you should watch the old episodes.
Yeah. What? Maybe you should catch up on the lore, Ty.
Watch,
Yeah.
watch
Seriously.
product.
Bobby Fish owes somebody in the studio money.
Really?
Yeah.
We'll tell you later. We'll tell you later.
All right.
We're,
All right,
we're
so
all
here.
fishmongers here.
Sorg here in front of you, me, Ty, Ronnie, Mad Mike, and God himself. We're going to spin the wheel, and if it lands on a name, that name will escape space jail. And there is no double jeopardy. You cannot send them back. No one can send them back. So we're going to spin it. We're going to see if someone can escape space jail. Are you ready, Sorg?
I am ready.
You know Cena's kicking out at 2.
Yeah, here we go.
No end zone, 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 no end zone.
Oh, well,
No!
kick out at 2. Well, this is quite the twist. Tina put John Cena into space jail, and John Cena, it's John Cena.
Do I get points for calling
broke
that?
out of space jail. So
Has there ever
Tina-
Do I get
anything
points for
more
legit
poetic?
calling that?
So
Jeez.
well done. Well, you know what? That's gonna help because now I can just pull this piece of tape off of here, and Missy's OCD will be fine. So we're good to go.
Good. Good.
So
By the way,
congratulations,
how
not
messed up
only
would
is
it be if somebody put Edge in jail?
Oof.
I don't think.
Hey,
I
you
would.
know
Who
what?
would-
They
who
might
would
be looking
possibly
out for
wanna
his
put
well-being.
Edge
You know
into
how these
space
matches
jail?
get.
Yeah. You could have a space jail match. Him versus Randy Orton.
There
By
we
the
go.
way-
All better. All right.
By the
Wow.
way, I showed you on the visual, but it was, I think, appropriate for Mayhem Mania. I want to point out that we do have a WrestleMania sign in the studio for pointing purposes. So
Ah.
right
I'm
there,
pointing to a sign.
there you go. You point to something, or if you just point, if you guys just point out like this, then we'll just connect it with our sign up here. Actually,
This is what I'm pointing at right now. Look what I'm pointing at.
Actually, you
everybody.
guys on the screen with us in the hangout, if you just point up, you're pointing at the sign. There you go. That Ronnie is pointing at the sign right now. No, up. No, your sign up. There you go. There you go.
Alex Miller points out, not even Tina can beat John Cena. You're damn right.
Mm-hmm.
No one beats
Damn
John
it.
Cena.
Take
Damn
that,
it.
Tina.
Tina is going over, baby. So let's get down to the business at hand. Last week we created 8 matches. Tonight, 5. The 5 of us. Sorg, is Larry still here?
What's
Did he
that?
run
No,
off?
no. I think Larry is not here.
Hey,
I think he did run
Larry.
off. Larry, are you here? Come on up.
Hey,
I don't think he's
Larry.
dead. Hey,
Come
Larry.
Come out of your hole.
Sorg, let's recap the matches. Then
Yes.
the 5 of us are
Just give
going
me-
to make a move here.
Just give me 1 minute to pull up the matches because I realized I wasn't prepared to that. I'm not used to this.
You did kind of.
I'm not used to this.
We were.
God
I was
damn it, Larry.
patiently sitting here. We were taking a break. I was thinking about that slice on Broadway on the other side of the room, and the next thing I know, you're cueing me that we're back.
and I,
And
realized,
I'm like,
I realized I might have done it early.
okay, we're back.
So
Let's
here we
roll.
are. Here we are.
We're live.
Doing it
We're live,
live.
pal.
We are live. We're going down the line. Go ahead, sir.
All right, let's take a look at the matches we created last week. First off, we have Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt, created by Bobby F. J-Town. We have DIY versus the Time Splitters,
Mhm.
created by Ron Starks. Elias versus Tony Nese, created by Sorgi. Rhea Ripley versus Mercedes Martinez, created by Honey Badger. Velveteen Dream versus R-Truth, created by Dave Podner. Mia Yim, Kaylee Ray, and Tegan Knox versus Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Io Shirai, created by Tina Keys. Walter versus Keith Lee, created
Oof.
by Mad Mike. And finally, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong versus Shayna Baszler, Jessamine Duke, and Marina Shafir, created by your host, your favorite, yours truly, me. You're welcome. Sorgi, actually, the first move tonight is going to go to Billy Johnson, who is going to be
Yes.
here tonight, but unfortunately,
Good.
he cannot be with us. Billy, we hope you're feeling better, and we hope this makes you feel better. Billy is going to make one change to the card. Basically, all you have to do, it's very simple. You're just moving one for one. So you can swap one person out, bring one person in. You can swap one person for one person inside of the card itself. You can move team for team if you want to get weird and do handicap matches and get really creative. Really, I mean, the rules are, push on the envelope a little bit, or you could just get rid of a match entirely and bring in another match with entirely new people. Just remember, you can't use anybody that is in space jail right now.
Nope.
Now, Billy
Nope.
Johnson has decided he wants to make a change to the card, and his change is that he is swapping out Mercedes Martinez, and he is bringing in Charlotte Flair, to take on Rhea Ripley. So there you go.
Someone's been reading the dirt sheets. Someone's been reading the sheets.
So
That's the
that
prevailing
is
rumor. Mania.
Billy's move. And let's see, where are we going to go from here now, Sorg? We're going to have to figure this out.
Now, what are we? Are we just replacing and moving? Are we adding anything? Are we at our limit for matches to begin with?
Oh yeah, we're done adding matches.
We're done
now
adding.
We are just messing with these 8 matches.
Okay, so
That's
you
what's happening
can
right now.
replace an entire match, a person in the match, and that's it.
Yeah, or you can add someone else to a match.
Okay,
or you can,
okay.
you
all right.
can, yeah, add an extra team. You want to do something like that? Yeah,
Okay,
you're welcome to do that too.
All
I'll
right.
tell you what. Let's show you all how easy it's done. Let's let Mad Mike go next, and then we'll let Ron Starks go, and then you'll go, and then Ty Cross, the duck farmer, will back clean up. So Mad Mike,
I want to go last because I have a really good match, and I hope somebody uses the person that I'm using so I can use my backup match.
All right, excellent. So let's see if anybody. Let's play a little game called Who Can Screw Ty Cross. All right, Mad Mike, you're first up.
God,
I came up with
born
5
to play.
matches of all different people for this.
The game I was born to play.
Yes.
You,
Matt,
my
I
wife.
do have a question
Yeah.
before I what are we considering the status of AJ Styles?
Looks hurt. How long? I don't know.
What's the official word? I didn't know he was hurt.
He hurt his shoulder during the Rumble match.
Okay.
It's not immediately
looked
clear
separated.
how long. You know what? 70 days. He'll probably be all right.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so
It did look
AJ's in
separated.
play.
Yeah, I would say if there's no definitive word, this is kind of where we went with the dream. If there's no definitive word that he's definitely out, we'll let it slide for now. But if we get too close and it's not looking good, we might have to reevaluate. But
Okay.
we'll see how things are going. Anyway, let's do it.
Okay. So I am going to take out a whole match. So I feel like there was a little bit of craziness going on, and Matt, I'm sorry. I need to see the Undisputed Era as a whole unit, and I don't think if Bobby Fish can't be booked, if Bobby Fish is in the Phantom Zone, I don't think any of them should be booked.
Oof. Oh,
I know. I'm sorry.
no. So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But so that match is going away.
okay.
In its place, we are going to have the OC, AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, Luke Gallows against Edge and the Edgeheads.
Oh, we can do
Yes.
that.
Credit
And the
where it's
Major
due.
Brothers?
Yes. Edge, Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. All right, awesome.
I dig that.
Let's see. Who did I say was going to go next?
I believe
Ron Starks.
Ronnie Starks.
You're up.
All right. I am going to add somebody to a match.
All right.
We're going to do Finn Balor versus Adam Cole Baby
Okay.
versus Bray Wyatt.
All right. Adding.
I already feel better about my decision.
Okay. I dig that.
All right, Sorgi, you're up, my friend.
What? It's my turn. I was doing the
So it's
technology.
like, I haven't even looked at the card yet.
Oh shit.
I haven't watched wrestling in
Oh
weeks.
shit. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and add. First thing coming to my head, a friend of the show needs to get on this card that has. They can't remember if they've ever been on this card before. We probably used them last year. Let's go look at another friend of the show over there. Johnny Gargano DIY is just reunited. Time Splitters.
Yep.
And let's add
Mm-hmm.
another one that did a lot better in NXT than they're probably doing right now, technically. Let's get the Viking Raider experience.
Okay.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Excellent.
All
Okay.
right.
Let's go ahead. Let's see. You got a lot of guys can go, and then let's get a couple of hosses that can go on top of it.
Yeah.
I actually really want to see this match.
Look at
and
some big
also-
boys to throw some kids
or-
around.
Any configuration of this match.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, this is gonna be good. All right, Ty Cross, did anyone ruin your match idea?
No, and I'm really upset. Because I want to use my backup match. I think is more creative, but my main match is better.
All right, well, let's use your
On
main
paper.
match, and then what you can do is you can hang out with us, and then you can tell us what your backup match was going to be when you join me on Talking Mayhem Mania, coming up later on this fine YouTube channel where you get your Sorgatron Media goodness. So anyway, go ahead, Ty Cross.
2 questions. Number 1, can you make it a title match?
not yet.
Titles come later, but I mean, if that's
Okay.
you can imply that intent, and then let the process play out later. So.
And number 2, just I think I know this, but I can make it a triple threat match from the jump.
Yeah, so you can create a triple threat match from the jump. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to remember the matches because I don't know what I want to blow. I am blowing something up. I was going to blow up Fiend and Balor because it's been done, but adding Cole I think is pretty cool. So I might end up blowing up. I don't want to blow up Dream and Truth, but I almost have to. What were the matches again?
Yeah, here we go. All right, you mentioned Balor, Wyatt, Cole, and Sorg just added the Viking Raiders to DIY versus the Time Splitters. We also have Elias versus Tony Nese. We got Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. We've got Dream versus R-Truth.
I got it. Elias versus Nese. I'll blow up.
I
No
almost took out
offense
that
to
one
Mr.
too.
Shulo, but I'll blow that up.
He'll be back.
I'm going to
As for Mr.
imply
Nese,
a
screw your feelings. Go ahead.
United States Championship match. So it will be Andrade versus Aleister Black versus Pete Dunne
Ooh,
Oh shit.
okay.
for the U.S. title.
Little bruiserweight action. I like it.
I think that would be a cool match if you called him up and you had all 3 on Raw. That would be a very good Mania match.
We have an angry badger in the chat room.
She says, "Who put Charlotte over Mercedes Martinez?"
I don't know. I didn't see it happen.
I also want to say that Billy made that match not looking at the matches.
Yeah.
So he did not know that's what he was replacing until I told him afterwards.
He did not know it was your match either. So
no, he did not. Also, did not know it was a Badger match.
This is kind of like the spirit of the game. Though it's all about hurt feelings,
yes,
and spite, and betrayal and revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And as things play out, you'll kind of see that those themes will become more apparent. Anyway, good job, everybody. Again, a lickety split round of Mayhem Mania.
Yeah, wow. I don't know what to do for the rest of the show now.
we're just flying through this stuff now. In fact,
you can let me make one more match.
We need to come up with more bits. Like, what are you doing here?
Should I bring back the big question for this season?
I don't know.
Bring back the big question.
I have a big question, actually.
Oh, okay.
Well, hold on. Let me recap the card for everybody real quick,
segment.
and then we'll try to Phil. All right, so here's the matches right now as they stand after this round of Mayhem Mania. We now have Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt versus Adam Cole. We have DIY versus the Time Splitters versus the Viking Raiders. We now have Andrade versus Aleister Black versus Pete Dunne. We have Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte. Velveteen Dream versus R-Truth. We still have Mia Yim, Kaylee Ray, and Tegan Knox versus Asuka, Kairi, and Io. Walter versus Keith Lee, and finally we have the OC versus Edge and the Major Brothers. That's fantastic. So good job, everybody, and we'll be back next week. And don't forget to stay tuned. We're gonna find out what Ty Cross's other match idea was on Talking Mayhem Mania. And we're gonna also try to figure out why these rounds are going so quickly, time-wise.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we're just getting really good at this.
We know what to expect.
I guess everyone knows what they're doing. We need to bring in more scrubs who don't know what's going on.
Wait till the Hossmen get here, because by the time we get to it, they'll be drunk.
Okay, that sounds great.
It's kind of on point with them. And also we have our first someone is going to die in response to a match change.
That's always a good thing.
And also I want to point out that it's pointing season, and Dave Potter is pointing to you on his screen right now.
Pointing at me?
Yes.
Why?
It's pointing season.
Oh, okay. So I'm pointing right back at you, pal.
Yeah, you can point at the sign. Point at the sign over here. There you go.
There you go.
I know we need to put you in the other seat so we can actually see you in the wide shot. So,
how about John Cena spending a whole 3 minutes in Space Jam?
That's
I think
fantastic.
he had someone on the inside helping him
So,
out.
since that went so quick, I think we should always have a reserve big question, I suppose. And Mad Mike has one for this week. Mad Mike, what is the big question?
Yeah, it's Rumble season, and
What?
and I don't know about you guys. When I was watching the Women's Rumble, I there's always that moment where you know what the plan is, but you wish someone backstage would just call an audible and say, "Fuck it, let's do something completely different." I want to see Beth Phoenix win.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Beth Phoenix win. I thought that she was a fucking warrior in there. She was amazing.
Right.
I wanted to see her win. I wanted to see her dump Charlotte and Shayna. WrestleMania be damned. Like, I just wanted to see what would happen. So my big question is, what legend, returning star, new star that almost got there but didn't, out of all the previous Rumbles, would you have liked to see win?
Oh, across Rumbles in general?
Yeah, across Rumbles.
Oh, not just this one.
No, just across Rumbles.
All right, because my original answer was going to be Santina.
No, Sorg. Santina does not fly in 2020.
But it had to be a Rumble that a legend came back to.
Or someone unexpected. Like if you thought AJ Styles should have won his debut Rumble, AJ Styles.
You're losing followers now, Sword.
Okay. Why? Did we lose him? Ty?
I think we lost him.
But like, did they have to already exist?
It's just a thought question. Just say
Rumble?
who you're gonna say.
Just say who should have won a Rumble that maybe didn't.
Owen Hart.
There you go.
They had to exist
They had to have been in the Rumble match.
in the Rumble that they were in. Like,
All right, well, hold on. I'll give
I
mine.
can't pick
I'll
somebody.
give mine, okay?
It's not fantasy
Okay, yeah.
booking.
No, it's not fantasy booking.
What year?
Mine is from
Yeah.
2002.
What year does Owen Hart win the Rumble?
Mr. Perfect should have won that Rumble.
Ooh, when he came back.
Yeah, because
Okay.
he looked amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he looked amazing. He was in the Final Four, for Christ's sake. Like, he should have won that Rumble match.
Mm-hmm.
What about the year the British Bulldog should have won instead of Shawn Michaels?
See, there we go. Now we're having a conversation.
Mine already happened. It was the 2014 when Batista won the Rumble.
Yeah, and it should have been Roman.
Nah, it should have been Batista.
Now, which one are we talking about? The one in Pittsburgh?
Yeah,
The one in Pittsburgh.
that's what mine happened already.
Oh, yeah, I think he's saying he was down with Batista.
I don't think you understand the question.
I do. I was doing a bit.
You're doing a bad bit. This is the big question, not the bit question. All right? Answer the fucking question.
I liked Batista winning 2014's Rumble.
That's not what the fucking question is.
Wow.
How do you ruin this bit? It's a fucking question.
It's pick a legend that returned to a Rumble and like
Pick anyone who didn't win a Rumble that you thought should have won that year.
That's what I was saying
Mr.
right there.
Perfect in 1989.
Okay, fine. Where the Rumble meant absolutely nothing. Good job.
But
Good
still,
job.
but
Let's go to
still.
the chat.
Isn't that the year Hacksaw Jim Duggan won the deal?
No, Hacksaw won in '88.
Or no, it was 90 that Perfect should have won.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna go back and watch the 1990 Rumble tonight. You better fucking believe it.
Spoiler alert: Hulk Hogan wins.
Spoiler alert. Yeah, fuck, I know.
He throws Perfect out last.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the year that Hulk Hogan couldn't beat Yokozuna at WrestleMania, but Bret Hart won?
Yeah, 19.
What?
Wait. No, you have that backwards.
Oh no, Bret Hart lost because he took that shit to the face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
WrestleMania 9.
Whatever, that was a long time ago. I was like a wee lad back then.
We all were wee lads. Well, I mean, even this year, I think. No, I'm good with Drew though.
Yeah, I'm good with Drew too.
I mean, you got to admit, there was a point like during that Rumble where you're watching it and you're like, like Edge is back. Like he has to win.
Yeah. Like, would they?
They're not going to eliminate him, are they? They're like, what the hell is happening here? And then Roman eliminates him. Like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why do you want us to hate him? Anyway.
It's like the year John Cena was number 30. He came back from that shoulder surgery. Is that what that was? And they're like, oh, yeah, well, John's going to fucking win. We all knew it was going to happen. We're like, well, this sucks.
Yeah, but you only knew it until he came out.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't supposed to come out at all.
Yeah.
I mean, he was supposed to be out for another 3 months. And they're like, just kidding, John's back.
Yeah, he had an interview like just that week about it's gonna be a while. And then he was there. It was like, yeah, we were there for that one.
Yeah, we were.
Oof. That was a cool moment though.
It was great.
We've all gone to some rough WWE shows.
Yeah,
that was a great moment.
Every single one, Monday Night Raw in Pittsburgh.
That was a good Rumble. Now the one here, that got a little weird. I'm trying to think. I like the Owen Hart answer, just generally. That he should have won one.
Tina from the chat room says China. She set the bar, and God, that would have been great.
She's not the bar though.
No, nobody is now.
Yeah. Owen Hart should have been WWE champion. I mean, plain and simple. Yeah.
And you wonder if they were going to get around to it.
About him being in the Hall of Fame?
No, being champion. If he would have been around.
No, they would have gone around to it.
I don't think they would have.
Except that whole Blue Blazer bullshit kind of put a damper on things. But what can you do?
We learned anything. I mean, like anybody can get hot. We saw it happen with Kofi. It can happen, almost out of nowhere.
Oh, literally, that came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, it's just you don't see it coming. So I mean,
also the Yes Movement came out of nowhere too.
The Yes Movement came out of a very specific place, and that was Chicago.
Yeah. Well, no, it started. It started at WrestleMania.
No, I'm saying because of CM Punk.
Oh well, and CM Punk is no secret to everybody. One of my favorite wrestlers. That's another story for another day.
Ronnie used to sit cross-legged and cut promos at HPW.
It's true. I did a lot of dumb shit at HPW.
That's okay. I started doing a spear because Edge is my favorite wrestler, so I get it.
Alex Miller in the chat says Bianca should have won this year.
Yes.
She should have. No,
it's hard to argue that. Hard to argue that. And
Shayna, I think, had a good claim to that too.
So Shayna Baszler should have won too.
I think Shayna still might get to WrestleMania though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's technically 3 women's titles, so.
Well, if Charlotte goes to the NXT women's title, the NXT championship, since we dropped the woman in all the titles now.
Really?
You didn't hear about that?
That's a thing.
Yeah, they dropped all the.
Just the NXT. They haven't done that on Raw and SmackDown yet.
No, they did.
They did? Really?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, I didn't notice that. Okay.
So they call it the like SmackDown Championship, NXT Championship,
and the Raw Championship,
and NXT UK Championship,
and then but they're on women, but it's up the women's division or something.
They don't want it to be sexist, so they dropped the women's thing from it.
Okay,
I get it.
I think they don't want it to be gendered, because if you say NXT champion, you see it's Rhea Ripley, you know what the fuck you're watching.
I get it.
This was a Becky thing. No,
guys, maybe we should have this discussion when we have a woman on.
Yeah. I guess.
Let's table it. Let's put a pin in it.
What? Wait. When did Mad Mike become the voice of reason on this fucking show?
Always.
But we need to talk about it though. That's
no, we don't, because we are all men.
Yeah,
we are all men.
As long as it's on the record that I said that I get it.
Yeah.
Okay, it is. It's on the internet, so it counts. All right, who else has an answer for this one?
God damn it.
See,
I think we got everyone.
I think for the most part, those of us that got the question. All right, let's wrap it up, guys. What did you learn from wrestling this week?
Oh, a lot. Yeah. I'll tell you what. I watched a lot of wrestling this week.
Yeah,
holy crap!
Didn't we all?
I actually resubscribed to the WWE Network this weekend.
Whoa!
Good for you. Did you use that 3-month coupon from Honeycomb?
I did.
I was making a joke, but that's funny as shit.
Yeah, I did. No,
That's
I got
useful.
the free for 3 months. Yeah, suck it, Trebek. But wrestling was good this weekend. Really, it was solid. That's what I learned. Wrestling is actually still fun.
It's good.
Yeah.
I'll go next. I learned that Worlds Collide was a very UK show in America, and it still works.
Mm-hmm. That was a good show.
The only thing missing was being a small venue.
Hey, but I like that they can fill that venue though.
Very happy with that because it felt like it was an undersold show going into it compared to takeovers. But it seemed like it was pretty good.
That Finn Balor match with the Russian dude, that was a banger.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That was good.
Finn injured out of that apparently.
What happened to him?
I think it was like an elbow or something or a shoulder.
Everybody's getting hurt, man.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not too bad and he can.
Everybody's going hard. Hey, you know how you cycle in talent? People gonna get hurt sooner or later.
I mean, you don't want to wish that on anybody.
That's the worst fucking reason, but there's that, so.
You want to spot a WrestleMania kid? Go break his fucking leg.
I mean, we'll go listen to Dolph Ziggler on After the Bell, like the last week or the week before, talking about how, I basically never got injured and I needed a break. And then they kept making me come back, so.
I've heard that kind of story before.
Yeah?
Yeah, that guy didn't come back at all. That other guy.
What other guy?
CM Punk.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah.
He needed a break, too.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Maybe that's why Miz did all those movies.
Yep.
I mean, you can still see CM Punk versus Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. It's not taken off the cards yet. I mean, look at Seth Rollins' T-shirt. That looks exactly like CM Punk's T-shirt.
Hey, Matt, I have a question.
Yeah.
Is CM Punk on the table for Mayhem Mania?
Sure.
Okay.
Now more than ever.
I'm just planting that in people's thoughts. So
How
now
many millions of Saudi oil money do you think it would take to get CM Punk back into a ring at WrestleMania?
That's where you're going to see Seth
would
Rollins.
find it.
More than what Fox is paying him.
Yeah, I think they could find that money if they were really motivated to get him back in the ring. I had a thought the other day too. Is Triple H gonna have a WrestleMania match?
I was wondering that too.
What are we gonna do without our 30-minute Triple H match, man? When am I gonna sleep?
I'm entirely okay with that. With a half hour of Latin and skulls left.
Skulls. What am I gonna do without my 30-minute nap, dreaming of skulls in Latin?
Do we still have Elimination Chamber before WrestleMania?
I think so. Okay. I think so. I don't know. Matt, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned apparently WWE keeps track of the decibel levels at their shows.
Yeah. So that makes sense. There was actually discussion
they
that
should mic them properly if they're going to do that.
There was actually discussion at indie shows about that happening now. So that's how you tell who's more important on a show. By the response from the
crowd will tell you.
Yeah, the crowd will tell you. But let's actually see how loud they get.
Yeah,
so that's a good test. So
ticket sales are a good indication too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but butts in seats.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Ty, what'd you learn from wrestling this week?
I learned that some people actually did like me. I announced, yeah, I know, right? I announced Wednesday that I was going to step away from wrestling, and I got a lot of nice, like a lot of likes and a lot of nice comments and stuff. Yeah, I retired for anyone that didn't know.
Ty, no.
Oh, I didn't know we were part of your retirement tour.
I just kind of want to be home and not get hurt. I got a kid now. She's almost not quite 3 months old, so I was able to go 10 years without getting a serious injury, and without pooping my pants. So
yeah.
And now you're going to be home where there's going to be a lot of poop in the pants.
Yeah, I've changed a lot of diapers. It actually, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but just being able to go 10 years without a serious injury, my neck is a little stiff as it is, so I figured it's as good a time as any to kind of step back. You might come back one day. I might come back. I don't know, but for now, it was nice. Shane Taylor liked my post. That made me feel good.
Shane Taylor definitely pays attention to back home.
I screenshotted it and I sent it to the group chat with it's like me and Pollock, LaRusso, Edric, Markman, and Peyton and Connor, and I just said he cared. He always cared.
Oh man.
Yeah, Shane also liked the.
I worked with him once at PWX. He was a really nice dude.
Shane also
what was that, Sword?
Shane also liked the SpongeBob SquarePants Mayhem Mania theme we put out last week.
Oh my God, he saw that?
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. He was the first one to like that post. So
he gets it, man.
He gets it.
Shane gets
we
it.
need to get him in here to play Mayhem Mania.
Hey, you know what? That might be a possibility, but we might have to give him we might have to help him secure the bag in order for that to happen. If I'm following what's going on in Ring of Honor, right? So,
exactly.
We'll see what happens. I think everybody went? We went around.
I
chat
didn't.
room. Oh, Mad Mike, what'd you learn this week?
I learned that Tommaso Ciampa could turn on Johnny Gargano at any second.
Oh, absolutely.
According to his own words.
Wait, where did he say this?
I posted a video in the Mayhem group. It was taken right before their match at Worlds Collide, where Ciampa's just walking in with his wife and their kid, and they're just hanging out in the locker room, and Ciampa's on his phone. He's like, I'm going to turn on you tonight. Gargano's like, no, you're not. And then he turns to the camera. He's like, guys, he's joking. He's like, no, I'm going to turn on you tonight. It's honestly, it's amazing. And everyone, especially anyone who knows friend of the show, Johnny Gargano, needs to watch it. It's fantastic.
You got to see that. From the chat room, Alex Miller learned that David Benoit sounds like his father.
Oh, boy. Oh, I hope that's the only similarity.
Yeah, well, he kind of looks like him too. But I mean,
he looks like him too.
Oh boy.
Tina, there was a lot of wrestling. NWA Friday, Worlds Collide Saturday, Royal Rumble Sunday. That might be a response to something actually. So, Potter learned NXT UK can put on a hell of a show. If there wasn't too much, I'd watch the show. And Ziggy Haim takes amazing bumps. There you go. Was Potter there on Saturday? Or did he watch the...
I think he might have just seen clips.
Okay, there might be some... Okay. Let's see. Something there. Something there. And what did I learn this weekend? I learned... And this is actually a discussion I had with somebody else, that, and this is something that gets reaffirmed over and over again. No matter what, like, a good show happening locally does not impede another good show from audience. We saw that yet again with 2PW and Ryse, which, I mean, granted, they're about, an hour away from each other? More or less?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, WrestleMania weekend's been proving that year after year with the 13,000 shows that go on in the span of 5 days.
Yeah, there's other issues going on with that, as we learned from Blackcraft last year. And that's really cool to see. These are both companies that are new, right? Ryse just celebrated their 3rd anniversary. 2PW just celebrated their 1st. We're not talking about 10-year, 15-year companies like others that have been around and drawn amazing crowds too. Again, 15 minutes down the road from each other on the same night, pulling 300 apiece or whatever that number is. So I think it's cool that it's this strong here, and even with the promise of new promotions this year, it's nothing but more good, and the fans are coming out to it regardless. So, and picking their favorites or checking out both or all somehow, and it's a really cool spot to be in, at least in this area.
There's a lot of positivity in Pittsburgh too. When I came in, this 10 years ago, people were still ripping flyers down, but now it's more oversaturated than ever. But there's so much positivity that it seems like everyone's working really well together.
And the people that are adding negativity are kind of getting butted out of the circles.
I want to jump on that for a quick second. Just something I remember seeing this week and wanted to address it and forgot about it.
Okay.
AEW fans, shut the fuck up. I
agree with you again. It's terrible, but I do.
Let people enjoy whatever the fuck program they want to watch.
Can we roll that? Wait. Can we roll that back?
if you're so toxically pro AEW,
Mm-hmm.
that you spray paint AEW letters on an NXT poster
Oh
in
god, that.
the subway in New York City,
Come
you
on.
can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Can we just extend
Seriously,
that?
just go fuck right the hell
Can
off.
we extend that to wrestling fans in general? Because there's the other way too, isn't there?
What do you mean the other way?
I mean, there's WWE fans that are shitting on AEW all the time. I'm not talking about you, Mike.
I don't see it as much.
No, okay.
Not
I don't
nearly
see it
as
as much,
loud.
but it might be who I
Not
see
as much,
retweeted.
but it is there. Like
Yeah. I guarantee it's there,
toxic.
but-
The WWE versus AEW is like Nintendo versus Sega Genesis fans in the '90s on the schoolyard. Okay, and
Yeah,
it's
like-
fucking horrible.
Yeah, like I'm not the biggest AEW fan in the world.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna actively say, "Oh, fuck that company."
Listen.
I'm just like, it's not for me. It's not my
And
bag.
we can have fun with it. I laugh my ass off when Shirley Doe yells at a kid in the audience with an AEW shirt and says, "Nice fucking t-shirt company." Like something like that, right? Matt, I think you had something to say.
Not all AEW fans are bad people.
No,
of course not.
Some of them are
Did
just
you
like
guys
me.
did you guys see Sammy Guevara driving
God.
that little fucking kitty tank?
That
And
was-
it was bad. He
Oh,
literally
no.
was cutting stupid promos, and most of them were Scott Steiner,
Like-
talking like you have a 5.555 chance of winning, and like doing that whole promo. And I'm like, Guevara,
Like,
go the fuck home,
It's
dude.
so
I
meta,
wonder-
Ronnie. That's the thing, is it's so meta.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and I've said this before. If everyone in AEW acts like a meta snarky asshole, then it doesn't have the impact that they want it to.
We'll see. We'll see what
No,
time
it's like
says for that.
Deadpool. If everyone was Deadpool, the movie would suck.
And that's a good way to put it.
Coming from a good Star Wars fan, AEW fans kind of seem like Star Wars fans. Not all of them are bad, but the bad ones are really loud about it.
Oh my god, the bad
Yeah.
ones whining about the new movies is the worst thing on the planet. I
Yeah.
can't. fucking
Yeah,
do it.
yeah. I did find myself adding myself to like 3 new Facebook groups for wrestling fans, and then 10 minutes later I took myself out of all 3 of the groups. I was like, oh
Dude,
right,
Truth.
oh that's right. This is why I do my own Facebook group that I
Yeah.
can control.
This is why
And
we try and weed out
Make
like,
sure it
all
doesn't
the
stay
toxic
toxic.
negativity in our group.
We watch wrestling's really good about that too.
Yeah, like we're only toxic toward each other.
Yeah. Just I mean the only toxicity is Mad Mike and Ty Cross.
I still don't know who you're talking about, Sorg.
Yeah. Either way.
I see a different name in my Google Hangout feed. I don't know who this Ty is.
Tina's got a good point. It's like politics. There's extremists on both sides, and we can all take steps to whittle that down one way or another, and let the toxic people just be toxic to each other.
1 3 count at a time.
Mainstream. You have one last thing to say?
I got one last thing to say about it.
Okay.
I think we just need to be careful whenever we're talking about AEW and its fans and whatnot. You know, we're still dealing with a very young company,
Mm-hmm.
a company that just signed an extension of its television deal. We've all supported, fringe promotions before. Some that we could probably all agree, not all of them were perfect. I enjoy AEW a lot. I catch it every single week.
Yep, me too.
For all its flaws, for all its missteps sometimes. I enjoy it. The part of the excitement for me is kind of seeing if they can find their way. And I think the talent there is great. I think they're, hungry. They're getting after it. That's why Sammy was out there in a tiny tank over the weekend. Sometimes it
trying
works,
shit.
sometimes it doesn't.
They're
But
trying shit.
I think like any wrestling that is trying to do something positive for the industry, I think it's good to support it and try to encourage its growth, and but also understand
Absolutely.
that we're all I'm not trying to kumbaya this thing, because just
No, but-
watch what you like, but if it's not for you, then sit it out, and if you're seeing too much negativity one way or the other on your timeline, it's time to hit that mute button, kids. That's
Mhm.
what I've been doing.
Listen,
and
man, there's been a lot
my
of
Twitter
mute
feed's been
buttons.
improving lately. so-
Absolutely. In the wrestling world, in the life world, in the politics world, there's a lot of mute button hitting.
Truth.
Yeah,
Just take it out.
Dave is
Support
saying-
what you like, but don't trash what you don't.
Dave is saying treat people online like you would in person. That only goes if you're not a complete asshole.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because some people treat people in person worse.
Check out Hank Hudson's Facebook page.
That's great.
Look for the Crystal Frost post, and you will see some people beating up on some toxicity.
Oh,
it was pretty crazy.
Really?
Yeah, it was wild. Joe Rogers said something, and everybody jumped on me about it. Well, deservedly so.
Fucking Joe Rogers.
But it was just, it's really funny to go just read through those comments if you have the time.
I mean, look what happened a couple years ago when somebody was trashing on Chris Taylor. I mean, that was like, I thought the first big, like, positivity, like, we're done with this shit from the rest of the local community.
How can anybody hate Chris Taylor, though? That shit was
awesome.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So good stuff. Like, hey, like Ryse puts out there, I got the T-shirt, Rise Against Hate. You know,
Tina says encourage things like a Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And on that note, what was that? You're wearing sweatpants right now because it's your night off.
By the way, when we get to Patreon in the bank, Gray Sweatpants Battle Royal will be a match type.
It
I
better
don't even know
be.
what the rules are.
I don't know. We'll wake him up. That's all right. Well, it'll be part of a Wikipedia by then.
You get thrown over the top rope, and both sets of sweatpants have to fall to the floor.
Mainstream Matt, you will not be able to hit him up at Mainstream Matt with 1 T on the Twitter tomorrow because he has jury duty.
That's right. I might be checking my feed while I'm in the room.
I don't think you're allowed to.
You're not. You have to turn your phone off. You should bring in a book.
I've been through this before, and I think when you're in the kind of like the waiting room, you can still like.
Okay.
We'll see how it
You're
goes.
not being sequestered for this. It's
not yet. I mean, I haven't been chosen yet. I've only been summoned.
chosen. Okay.
So,
out of time.
Like, I work in the.
Don't say goodbye.
Listen, just tell them that you're an AEW.
They're
fan.
gonna ask. No. The
And
first
then-
thing they're gonna ask me. You know
like,
what else? That goddamn Brock Lesnar throwing 14 guys out of the Royal Rumble. For God's sake!
Did you see that, Crap Sunday? Judge,
Matt,
can I get a ruling?
Matt, just tell them that you've joined the Dark Order.
Yeah, we can't talk about AEW, but he can yell about Lesnar's awesome Rumble.
He can yell wrong opinions all he wants.
Mad Mike 4883 on the Twitter.
YouTube.com/Poppy.
That's right. Also, Ronnie Starks can be found, one on the Ryse Wrestling from this past weekend on Indy Wrestling Network.
Yeah, you can find me on the Twitter machine at Starks Wrestling. You can follow me on the Instagram at the Ronnie Starks. I have a Facebook page too, I think. Yeah, I do. And I don't know. Is there anything else I missed?
That's good. Yeah. That's good enough for me. Ty Cross.
I'm on Facebook, and I'm also on Twitter and Instagram as at Big Bad Ty Cross. And even though I'm retiring, I'm going to stay active. And now that I'm retired, I can post pictures of my kids, so you might see those too.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, we're gonna have you. One, we gotta get you in the studio, and as somebody else said that when they're retired, now you can tell us what you really think about wrestling. So, well, through the filter, but not through the filter of your bad in the middle of the country internet.
I'll be in eventually.
There you go. We'll get them in there. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, chat room. A lot of you guys joining us throughout the night. Thank you so much for making this awesome Mayhem universe. And until next time, it's pointing season. We'll see you later. Mayhem out.
Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you got to do.
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.